Hi. Okay. Hey, welcome back to my channel. It's Trinia Shantae, as always. Obviously, this was part 2 of the conference. Like I did the first video, I'm going to do the second video and go through each and every sermon. I don't know if you remember, but in my last video, I mentioned that I would probably never use this notebook again. It's the only thing I use. First off, I want to tell you why I took so much time. I knew that I needed to go through each and everything that I learned from day 2. 4 sermons, I think 2 panels. It was back to back to back. And I'm not complaining. I'm just saying I needed time to process everything, to understand everything before I got in front of a camera. One thing I realized after day 2 of the conference is that I was doing life all wrong. Like, I had the right idea, but the wrong approach. But life feels so much better after understanding what I do now. I went to this conference looking for one thing, the Lord, and I got that. Let's just get into the sermons now. First person was Jackie Hill Perry. Her sermon was called How to Be a Berean. In her sermon, she was reading from Acts 17, verses 10 through 15. And she discussed 3 main points. What is the Bible? Why don't we read the Bible? And how do you read the Bible? It was the last one that really stuck with me. This is the reason why I feel like my life has flipped upside down. She talks about reading the Bible Christocentrically, reading with Christ in mind. I always found myself reading the Bible trying to look for things that help me in my situation. My approach was genuinely to find something for me. Like, I was never reading the Bible to learn about God. I was reading the Bible to get an answer for my situation. It's basically like a horoscope. I was looking at the Bible like a horoscope. I never opened my Bible to just understand who God was as a being, like who he was as my father, as my creator. I completely understood after this conference, after reading my Bible for myself, how to fully give something to God and how to fully surrender my will and just be okay with waiting for his will to play out in my life. And honestly, I've just been so much happier. So sermon 2, Preston Perry, right? Jackie Hill Perry's husband. He came out of Acts 4. My key takeaway: the more you come to love God and the more you come to know God, the more you will love the things that he loves and hate the things that he hates, which is sin. God loves people and he hates sin. It is something that gets in the way of our relationship with God. So if it is a literal wedge in our relationship with God. The more you sin, the farther away you're going from God. That was one of the things that was really, really sitting with me, because I was getting to a point where it was just it's okay. I do this here and there. It's going to be fine. But it's no, I can have a better hold on that. And I'm not really holding myself to the standard that God is holding me to. This is where things really got shook up. So John Bevere comes in. He's talking about the awe of God, and he's reading out of Isaiah 33. And his sermon was really good because it talks about fearing the Lord and being in reverence to him. At one point during his sermon, we were praying, and I felt like this wind come over me. And the next thing you know, I'm just breaking down crying. I hear this voice say, I know it was God, say don't you feel clean now? I was just crying and crying and crying. I felt comforted, but also convicted all at the same time. It was really in that moment when everything really settled in for me. I knew everything I needed to do, and I did it immediately. I walked into that conference looking for God, and I got exactly that. I am really intentional about my walk with God. I'm at more peace with myself. I'm learning more about myself, and I'm also learning more about God. I've got to learn so much about myself just by spending more time with God. Right now, I'm just learning how to be God's friend and how to make God my friend. And I need to be able to know when I'm hearing God's voice, what God's voice sounds like, so I can be able to discern. And I did not have this mindset before I left, y'all. I did not have this mindset. God truly has changed my life. It is so crazy. And I just want to share that. I'm on fire for the Lord. If y'all are on fire for the Lord, if you want to be on fire for the Lord, if you just like watching videos, if you just like me, I don't know, whatever. Come back again. I'm going to be doing this for a long time. Subscribe, like, comment. If you went to the conference, like, let me know. It was like so good. I loved it so much. Be blessed. Bye. I walked into that conference. That was crazy. Sorry, y'all. The clouds, man. Like I was saying.